Welcome to LinkUp, the SweatFree Purchasing Consortium's supplier database. This short video will explain how you can use it and why you should. Most workers in the global apparel industry work under conditions that violate their rights. They are paid poverty wages for long hours of work in unsafe and abusive conditions. As individual consumers, we often fuel the demand for sweatshop products. But governments are mega consumers, so they can foster formidable demand for change by spending our tax dollars responsibly. When enough governments require their contractors to comply with labor standards, competition will favor those businesses that provide good value and humane working conditions. But how do we know where our tax dollars go? That's where LinkUp comes in. This database shines a light on the factories that make the apparel governments buy with our tax dollars. LinkUp covers these supply chain points: factories, manufacturers, vendors, and government buyers. Located in the US and across the world, the factories are where workers cut the fabric and sew the apparel. Factories typically make products for one or several manufacturers. Manufacturers own the apparel brands, but rarely own the factories. They sell their branded clothing to vendors or distributors that compete for government contracts. Government buyers evaluate bids or proposals from vendors and award contracts to those that best meet standards established by law, including labor standards. Usually, we cannot connect the dots between these supply chain points. We literally have no idea which factories supply our cities, states, and other government entities. And workers don't know who buys what they make. The result is that vendors, manufacturers, and factories compete in a non-transparent system that hides labor abuses. These labor abuses can lower production costs, so suppliers that try to do the right thing often cannot compete. With LinkUp, we can begin to make change. LinkUp can help buyers find compliant suppliers and access evidence of noncompliance. Factory locations and monitoring reports are just a click away. Buyers who look for US-made or union-made clothing can find that too. Manufacturers can upload factory and product information to help vendors sell their products while controlling who has access to confidential and sensitive data. LinkUp offers manufacturers an easy and efficient means of communicating essential information to all their distributors at the click of a button. Vendors can access the information they need to submit successful bids to buyers who are looking for products made in decent working conditions. Vendors can use the online certification form to demonstrate compliance with government entities' sweat-free standards. The certification form automatically inputs the factory names and locations if they are in the database. Workers can use LinkUp to learn who buys the products they make. If necessary, they can report labor violations at their factories safely and confidentially to government buyers and the SweatFree Purchasing Consortium. The promise of LinkUp is transparency, accountability, and better working conditions. Whether you are a government buyer, an apparel company, or a member of the public, we invite you to use LinkUp to share supply chain information, learn where tax dollars go, and help lift up standards in the apparel industry.